أبرق في حسن وإصرار على جميع سعادتي وأفكاري.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. I wanted to make this video to really express like what I went through during this season of, finding Islam and really understanding the meaning behind being like a Muslim and, just my journey of how I experienced it. So, overall, I remember that for the longest time, like I was Christian, yes. So, all the way up until I'd say 19, that's when I really started looking into Islam, and for me it just kept being something that was curiosity wise, and I realized like Islam and its teachings were more strict, but obviously in a good way, where it led me to finding more interesting things about myself. And I remember I was slowly but surely practicing on the month of Ramadan as well, and I wasn't a Muslim yet, but I just admired the teachings. And I remember when I was fasting for the first time, I had an egg sandwich, right? And I'm pretty sure that was it. And so I remember during my fast, I was working at this factory job, and I basically didn't know how long the fast ended. And so I searched up on my phone. I was like, okay, when does the fast end where I can eat? Because I was so hungry. And it said when the sun went down. And I was just like, ooh. So, like, throughout work, I was just working so slow, having no energy. And overall, it was just terrible. But fast forward to when I was really starting to get more intrigued within the faith, I remember I was doing my best to go to a mosque. So I wanted to go to any mosque because I wanted to learn about it. And so eventually that learning became me actually wanting to, take my shahada and become a Muslim, because I was feeling like it was a calling to me. Like I felt like Christianity wasn't working, it wasn't clicking. And for me, I was just like, I don't want to be involved in something I'm not truly standing on, or I don't want to be involved with something that I feel like doesn't help resonate with me, as a young man, and overall what makes sense. And so part of me was kind of just in a dark area, I feel like, because I knew that Islam was something that was a calling to me. I knew Christianity was just like in the background. So for me, I'm constantly having this battle of, okay, what do I want to choose that I believe is going to help me navigate my life, where I can lead my wife, I can lead my kids, and I can also help my family out with what I know. And so for me, it was a constant battle. Like I didn't just hurry up and be like, Islam is the best. Being a Muslim is the best thing ever. Although I knew it was good for me, I just didn't agree with it wholeheartedly, because it's like my heart knew what it needed. My soul and body knew what it needed. But logically, I kept saying no at the same time. Like, this is what my family's doing. If I become a Muslim, then that means I won't be able to see them in Jannah. And so all these questions kept appearing for me to not look into Islam. And it made me really overthink. I was scared because who doesn't want to see their family in the afterlife? Like, that's the most important thing for anybody. You want to make sure you're constantly doing your best to be doing good halal deeds, making sure you're being there for your parents, making sure you're being there for your brothers and sisters of Islam. And so, like, who doesn't want to see the community in the afterlife where there's no pain and just pureness? And so, for me, it was all these questions and debates I would have in my head. And then all of a sudden, I remember I wanted to take that final step. And so, I'm pretty sure I had just hung out with my cousin beforehand too. So, basically, I ended up hanging out with my cousin before, so I'm pretty sure it was April 14th. So I ended up going to my grandfather's house, and I spent the night there actually, because I didn't like to drive when it was super late. But unfortunately, I ended up passing out, stayed the night there, and I woke up extremely early because Ramadan was still going on, and I wanted to eat this food my mom had left over for me. So I remember I woke up, I'm getting in my car and I'm on the road, and as I'm heading towards like my mom's house, there's somebody else who actually reared over and hit me. So basically it was a head-on collision. And so after all, like my main goal was to eat before Fajr, so before Sahur is here, so I can, start my fast. And then I wanted to go to the mosque and take my shahada. And that was my plan, because I really wanted to look into Islam. Like I was very confident. I kept feeling like it was a calling, and I was just done with the, debates and negotiations I kept making within myself, because I was like, I feel like this resonates with me. And so overall, I got in a head on collision and my vehicle got damaged and I ended up rearing over while the car hit me. And so the other car, unfortunately, he reared over and basically ran into a tree and was pronounced dead like immediately. And so for me, I looked at that as a journey of Allah basically asking me, like, how far are you going to run towards me? And for me, it made me a little scared because like I had to, go to the hospital, I had to heal and recover. And it was just a very scary moment because I kept questioning myself, like, did I pick the wrong thing? Am I making a bad decision? Is this like Jesus' way of punishing me? Like I kept having all these thoughts to make me have so much doubt towards Islam and being a Muslim. And so for me, I kind of like hindered myself away from it. But then I was like, you know what? This is something that I believe still resonates with me. And so I still made it a hobby to reach out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and really push myself on this journey, because basically I would be the first Muslim in my family to be a Muslim. Everybody else around me was Christian. So it was a huge thing, a huge shift for me and the people around me who have seen my growth. And basically, I remember going to the mosque with my older sister. Alhamdulillah, she was able to take me and we kind of explored the mosque together. But on that day, though, I'm pretty sure there was a funeral. So there wasn't a lot of Muslims there. There were actually none. No Muslims were there. So I wasn't able to take my Shahada, but being at the mosque for the first time really allowed me to see like how it looks, how everything's operating. And I remember like it was just a beautiful experience, and I was just very admired about how it looks inside of a mosque. And so I remember going back home, I downloaded this Muslim app, and basically it was like a social media app for Muslims, I'm pretty sure, because I remember that everybody was sharing experiences with Islam being a Muslim. And for me, I remember asking like, how am I going to feel if I take my shahada? And a lot of people commented saying you're going to feel so much relief. It's the best feeling in the world. Then I had a brother actually who commented, who's in another country, and he swiped up and said, "Hey, I can help you take your shahada on a Zoom call." And from that day on, like it happened. It was very confusing because like where it is now, it would be sunny. And so like when I would text him, it would be dark for him. So it came to a point where I was like, "Hey man, you can just text me whenever," because it was always daytime. And he ended up helping me take my shahada. It was a beautiful experience. And from that day on, it just really made me think about this journey of, becoming a Muslim, because like I don't know, it was a scary feeling for me. And I know I talked about this on my podcast, but I never really went deep into it. I just know that from that moment on, I really programmed my mind to believe like Allah wanted me here for a reason, and that He wanted me to run towards Him. I know you guys hear that saying, when you run towards Allah, He runs towards you. And so that's kind of how I've seen my growth when it came to learning about Islam and understanding its teachings and being a revert Muslim. Being a Muslim is an honor, because the amount of knowledge that I've learned and everything that I've acquired from learning about Islam has helped me for the long run. I wanted to share my story with you guys because obviously everybody's story is different, and it was just a huge shift for me. And I go back to that 19-year-old guy who really wanted to know his path. When I finally accepted Islam and allowed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide me, I feel like that's when everything changed for me for the better. And Alhamdulillah, because it's like I said, an honor to be a Muslim. And so I don't know, you guys. I just feel like I wanted to definitely dive deep into, my personal depths of who I am and how I got to where I'm at, especially when it comes to religion, because I know everybody's story is different. Everybody has their own way of experiencing a spiritual path. And so my spiritual path was Islam after being a Christian for up till me being 18, I should say. And then 19, that was when my shift happened for me. And Alhamdulillah, like I haven't looked back to doubting myself, saying, well, I wonder if I made the wrong decision, because Allah doesn't make mistakes. I'm grateful that He guided me towards Islam to where I can join my brothers and sisters. And so, Alhamdulillah, that's all I can say. Alhamdulillah, Subhanallah, May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to guide you. And if you're entering your stage of being a revert Muslim as well, trust yourself, keep praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and keep working hard on being who you want to be. That's going to help you overall. But Assalamu alaikum. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I know I'm going to have a lot of editing to do because so far this is 11 minutes. But salam. Oh.